What's going on, traders? This is going to be a pretty short video. We're simply going to talk about the SPY, triple Qs, and probably dive into Tesla a little bit, but overall, not much to talk about here. Before we start, like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So right now, we're looking at the SPY daily time frame, and yes, I know it's redundant. Yes, I know it's annoying. It probably pisses you off. Why are you watching a channel that pisses you off? I don't know. Some of you get off to that type of stuff. Maybe you like being angry all the time, but yes, we're still trading within this rising wedge pattern on a daily time frame. Someone mentioned in my last video that I've been talking about this rising wedge pattern for 3 weeks straight, and it still hasn't played out. Well, yes, it's on the daily time frame. The daily time frame is an intermediate to long-term time frame. So if you're expecting anything that forms on the daily, such as a head and shoulders pattern, inverse head and shoulders pattern, or anything that forms on a higher time frame, such as a weekly time frame, and you're expecting it to play out right away, you might want to learn how time frames work. But overall, yes, we're still trading within this rising wedge pattern. We go to the 2-hour time frame. We are still grinding towards the upside, as annoying as it may be. Now, when I say annoying, right, because I'm sure a lot of you are happy about this upside that we're getting, and that's great, right? Make your money, do your thing. But when you're looking at the SPY, when you get a much closer look at things, you're just consolidating, right? You're mostly consolidating. Now, today we got a little bit more action, but overall, for the past few days, after the whole Elon Musk and Donald Trump beef on Twitter, you've just been consolidating. And I think this is very reflective on the type of news we've been getting lately. And what I mean by that is that since this whole China and US are supposed to be making a deal thing has been happening, right? You're just dragging it, right? Or not you, but they're dragging it, right? The Trump administration, China, they're just dragging this thing until whatever happens, right? Every day for the past few days, they have a meeting. Trump tells us things are going well. And then you're like, okay, so what's the deal? And then they're like, oh, we'll tell you tomorrow. And then they prolong the meeting to the next day. And the cycle continues, right? And you're seeing this on the SPY, because the SPY, you're getting upside, more upside than downside, if anything. But ultimately, you're just getting this boring movement. Any type of movement you got towards the upside will just get eaten alive, right? You get most of that movement back, or you get most of that movement taken away. Now, today was pretty different, right? You pumped all the way from about 600 to 603, 604 range, and you didn't give too much of that move back. So today, pretty decent movement, but as you guys can see, we hit the top of this rising wedge, and it looks like we are just going to continue to do this until we finally get some type of news. Now, we do have more news coming in tomorrow, CPI, all that fun stuff, but ultimately, if this continues, I just imagine we're just going to keep grinding and grinding until we hit whatever target. Maybe new highs, maybe 604, 605, I don't know. But overall, pretty boring action when you're only focusing on the SPY. Now, does this pattern have to play out is the question, right? No. All right, we've seen plenty of rising wedge patterns not play out, or they get invalidated. And what I mean by getting invalidated is that you simply want to break out of here towards the upside, and you're just not doing that. You're just grinding within this rising wedge pattern. It's kind of annoying, all right? It's kind of annoying, right? You really want to see the market make a real decision. You're seeing, various stocks make their own decisions, such as Tesla and Nvidia, but you're just not getting much action on SPY. And so your key levels here on the SPY is 605. If we manage to get above 605, with decent volume and managed to break out of here, then I think previous highs is obviously on the table, 610, 613, maybe even new highs from that point. But as long as we're trading within this range, I can't really get overly optimistic in regards to upside, right? And this was what we talked about in the last video, where you're getting upside, but a lot of it is getting taken back, right? Premiums are just getting eaten alive, theta is getting destroyed, all that fun stuff. So you really have to take profit when you can. Now, in regards to downside, 598 is your key level. If you manage to break below 598, obviously 600 is your psych level. You manage to break and hold below 598, so you want to see a break, retest, then chances are you're heading all the way back towards 595, 592 range. 595 is where you're starting that gap fill, and then 592 is where you complete the gap fill. All right, so right here in this area right here, again, you want to see a break and retest below these guys right about here. Okay, hopefully it's not too much. I just want to give you guys a much better look on what I'm looking at and show you guys that I don't make this stuff up. Clearly, the SPY has been respecting not only the rising wedge, but the supply and demand zone. You guys see here that we rejected the top of this trend right here. We rejected the top of this trend, and I can go further back, but I'm going to be scrolling for quite a bit. But overall, still in the rising wedge. Do what you got to do. Be mad about it. Be happy about it. I don't care. All right, triple Qs. All right, triple Qs. Now, triple Qs is looking a lot different. Now, in the Discord, I pointed out that triple Qs can see more upside, right, from here. Even though this rising wedges here, I said triple Qs can see more upside towards about 536, 538 in the Discord. And so right now, it looks like that's exactly what's happening. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame here. We're getting this morning star pattern, and your key level here on the triple Qs, which we talked about in the last video, is 533. You managed to break and hold above these guys right here, okay? These cocaine bears right here, okay? So you managed to break above these guys, and it looks like maybe after hours we get some type of retest of 533, but ultimately you're just creating more space for upside, all right? As long as you hold 533, there's very much potential that you can see previous highs, 536, 538, before whatever happens, right? And yes, you can see new highs, you can even see new highs from here, right? You do have a nice morning star pattern, so looking pretty good for more upside when it comes to triple Qs. Your first key level, 535, and then from there you're looking at about it's a tight range between 535, 536, but ultimately you can head as high as 538, if not much higher. All right, so triple Qs in comparison to the SPY looks a lot better, but again, you still have this bearish divergence between the SPY and the triple Q. So it's all a matter of who's going to end up winning right now. So it looks like the tech sector is winning so far. We'll see. It's just carrying the market into Jupiter. So we'll see. All right, we'll see if the SPY actually plays out within that rising wedge pattern, or if the triple Qs just continues to push us higher. Okay, as far as downside goes, I don't think I talked about downside. 533, we talked about that, your key level. You get below 533, you're heading towards 529, 530 range, and then if you manage to give up 529, or I would say 528 just to be safe, so right here where these guys are, so you guys know I don't make these levels up. All right, so right about here where these guys are, so about 529, 528, you manage to break and hold below these guys right here to the left. All right, a lot of bears in this area right here. Then chances are you're heading towards 525. Your final boss level of all levels, we talked about this in the last video, 522. You break and hold below 522. GG's. All right, go ahead, sell everything, start selling the house, start selling the kids. You can try to keep the dog, but hey, you're probably going to need a lot more money when it comes to that sell-off. All right, so we'll see. All right, we'll see if it's actually going to play out. You got a lot of news coming up the rest of this week, so definitely be careful, guys. All right, like I said in the last video, take profit when you can, because the market blesses you and then it takes like 50% of that blessing away. So we'll see. All right, so that's triple Qs, that's SPY. Real quick, SMH. I know I said I was going to talk about this, but you guys know my routine. I always say I'm going to do something and then I just don't end up doing it. So SMH is breaking out. Okay, it is breaking out. You're seeing that reflect on NVIDIA. That's great. Okay, you're getting within the range of these guys right here. So SMH can head towards about 265, 267. So right here where these guys are. All right, so right here. All right, hopefully you guys can see this. All right, let me mark it out because some of you don't have your bifocals on. I know some of you are blind. I know a lot of you are 40 plus, so we'll see. All right, but yeah, so right here where these guys are, I imagine this is where we're heading next. We're pretty illiquid in this area, so we could see a move towards 265, 267. Obviously, that will send NVIDIA to about maybe 150, if not its previous highs. NVIDIA is officially above 143. Finally, right? We've been talking about how NVIDIA just fails to hold any type of level of significance, but not yet convinced when it comes to NVIDIA. But when you're talking about SMH, SMH does look a lot better in comparison to NVIDIA. So obviously if SMH pumps, NVIDIA should pump as well. You are mounting this level of 143 after hours, 2-hour time frame right now. As you guys can see, respecting the crap out of this level. You see a lot of bearish wicks here. You see these guys right here. You broke through. You're mounting it so far. All we need is another break towards the upside. If you get above 145 on NVIDIA, the sky is the limit. You're definitely heading towards, or at least I'm pretty confident you're heading towards 150, if not 153, basically your previous highs. All right, so that's what we're looking at for NVIDIA. Tesla, probably be the last thing I talk about in this video. Tesla. Oh, someone asked about AVGO. I think I haven't plotted AVGO, but we'll go over it. Tesla, 327. All right, 327. We saw Tesla have a hard time breaking above 327. You're within this zone right here. Right, you feel this gap right here as well. So right about here. And I imagine we're just buying the rumor right now when it comes to the robotaxi event. But yeah, Tesla is right below this resistance of 320. We'll say actually it's 328. I'm sorry, 328. So you want to see a break and retest of 328. Let's go to the 2-hour time frame to get a better look on how that looks. So you've officially broken above these guys right here at around 323, right? And so now you're pushing higher, and now you want to see that break and hold above 328. Okay, 328 is your best option. 327, 328. If you manage to break and hold above here, then you are heading towards the 340s, in my opinion. All right, 340s highs. You're looking at about 350 on Tesla. All right, so looking really really good. The whole Elon and Donald Trump thing, it seems like it was a liquidity grab, in my opinion, at this point. That seems like a so when I say that, that means that Tesla might see a massive move towards the upside. All right, a massive move towards the upside. This move right here, this just seems like it was a liquidity grab, and they needed an excuse for this. But if this robo taxi event happens and it goes well, Tesla might just like, it might hit 400. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't see a reason why we would do something like this massive liquidity grab, break back above the 200 in May, and not go crazy here. I just don't see it. All right, I could be wrong. Maybe the robo taxi event gets canceled. Right, we don't really know. They're not really talking too much about it. Elon's not, right? But yeah, I think this was a liquidity grab at this point, and Tesla can go crazy. All right, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Tesla can go crazy. So again, you want to see that mountain hold above 328, possibly head towards 340 at that point. Highs you're looking at is about 350. If we're being like crazy optimistic about the robo taxi event, you're talking about 400, 450s. Okay, and yeah, that's that's really all I have for Tesla. This move just didn't make sense to me. When you're looking back on it, it was so, the fact that it happened, it just seems so engineered. I'm sorry to be that conspiracy theorist guy, but this seems so engineered, right? It's so weird. Okay, but that's all I'm gonna say about it. You guys, let me know what you thought about this move with the whole Elon and Trump arguing back and forth thing. It just screamed liquidity grab at this point. We'll see. You can also argue that this is a double bottom here, low here, higher low, and then your neckline is at around 306. So yeah, Tesla broke above 306. You haven't looked back since. All right, so that's really all I have for this video, guys. I guess we can look at the NASDAQ real quick. The NASDAQ, you have a little bit more space to the upside. I talked about this in the last video. 22K. Once you get within the range of 22K, between 22K and 22,500, you really want to be careful. All right, you're trading within this rising wedge. Yes, I know it makes you mad seeing this. It is what it is. But I mean, you bounced here, you bounced here, you bounced here, you bounced here, you bounced here. You rejected all up in this area here. You rejected here. So I'm thinking that we're just going to, if we continue to break higher, you want to see a break above these guys right here at 22K, right? 22K right about here, and then from there chances are you're heading towards 22,100. All right, now if we zoom out on a daily time frame, rejection here, and it looks like this is where we're going to head, this trend line right here. So we'll see what happens. All right, we will see what happens. So overall, pretty good day for the bulls. Nothing too crazy when you're talking about the overall market, right? Bitcoin's going insane. I ain't got much for Bitcoin. I mean, it's going ballistic. All right, it looks like it wants to revisit 112K. We'll see. But overall, that's all I have. You guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think we're going to have some type of blow off top, or is this just setting up for another drop? Okay, let me know what you guys think. All right, until the next video, traders, have you a good one.